anything, then like they have to stick their face out, like, oh my god, you know, as they're like walking. Then they're gonna post it and be like, oh my god, I just met Finn Balor. Yet he's walking up to the ramp. It's really crazy how people are so inconsiderate. And they have to get that perfect shot. They have to get that perfect shot. While I feel that a picture is, it's obvious that it's more personable because it's a picture, while the talents have 1.5 million pictures taken of them all the time, than an autograph. Whereas an autograph, you can have like 200,000 copies of that same autograph anywhere in the world, and a sloppy one on like a baseball or a program or anything like that, because just they want to get it done quick. I don't know what the limit is for that with wrestling. Like, that with Pete Dunne really bothered me, because they have a 7-week-old, he has a 7-week-old daughter, and, trying to get her to a car. And while British wrestling fans are probably, arguably, one of the best, most passionate fans, pro wrestling fans, among other things, in the world. It's unreal. And yet, again, like everybody else, whether it be in the United States, and I'm sure many other places too in the world, can be very inconsiderate, which sucks. And again, that sucks for the talent. They just want to enjoy their day. They want to go about their day. Sorry, I'm just getting a message too. Anyway, so man, like anybody else that would have almost gotten hit by a car by Mason Ryan, Alberto Del Rio, and Ricardo Rodriguez, who was the driver of the car, they would have taken their phone out right away and take the picture and be like, oh my god, it was almost an attempted hit and run. And that was of the age where things were starting to get really nuts with social media. But instead, we weren't on our phones or anything, or at least I wasn't. And we just went about our day, and we kind of looked at each other, we laughed our ass off and said, holy shit, we almost just got hit by the former world heavyweight champion. And Mason Ryan. Like, we just had a good laugh about it, because really, it's just things like that, man. You gotta live in the moment and not have your fucking phone out all the time. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to think about that. Where we've come now. So, you know what? Let me take a quick break right now. Oh, and the other thing I kind of want to get on with this too, really quickly, Toni Storm, spoiler alert if you haven't watched already, is, the new NXT UK Women's Champion. And because of her leaks, which I think is something else that's really ridiculous that these things even happen, she went back, because she deactivated her Instagram and Facebook and Twitter accounts, and she finally came back to Twitter, I guess overnight after the takeover event. And after the takeover event, she comes back on, and that's just another thing. Like, it's scary how much people have access to that too. So, good on her that she has the courage after the leaks to come back on social media platforms. And good on her that, this is just kind of the step going forward. And for the people who claimed that this title win was out of pity, shame on you. Obviously, you haven't watched too much of Toni Storm's matches to get an idea of exactly how good she is in the ring and how good she is to the point that other talent that are with her, like Rhea Ripley last night, look that much better. So, yeah, that's just nuts. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, let me take a quick... Alright, welcome back here to Open Mic Wrestling Night here on Twitch. And for anybody who's listening not in the live window, that they will be... let's just take a look here. Okay. If you're listening on Villain Void Podcast Network, whether it be on Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you, Apple Podcasts, wherever you download podcasts, I'm sure that, well, hopefully you're listening, but thank you either way if you are. Just want to throw a couple plugs out there. Fill in the Void Podcast Network, obviously. I mean, this isn't going in order with the ads. There we go. Fill in the Void Podcast Network. Spreaker.com/filling_the_void. Just throw a couple of shows out there that I know had some significance to it. The Blake and Sal show recently just had an interview with a bunch of talents down over at Brew City Wrestling. That's an exclusive. If you go watch the Blake and Sal show, or go listen to the Blake and Sal show and hear those. Those were interesting. And then, obviously, DJ Classic presents the Indie Artist Realm. Travis and Vic's Drunken Horror Adventures, Whatever It Takes, the Decrossi podcast, among many other ones. The Scholars of Wrestling is another one. Club Kayfabe, just a bunch of different podcasts on the network. Be sure to go check it out. Let's take a look. Squared Circle Apparel, squaredcircleapparel.com. If you use the code OMWN15, you get 15% off your entire purchase. Powerslam.tv, use the code PWPNation for your first month on the service for free. And I've been in touch with the people over at Powerhouse Nation, and I will be getting a writing out there real soon. So be on the lookout for that. There's plenty of stuff to write about now coming up as far as editorial pieces. Definitely, that's definitely something to keep an eye out for as well. And thank you everyone for about 150 follows on Instagram for the show's Instagram, about 240 on the Twitter account. Again, if you're interested in following, the tags are on the live window on Twitch here. But if you're not, at Open Mic Wrestling on Twitter and at Open_Mic_Wrestling_Night on Instagram. All right, let's get into this right now. NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool. That was last night. Very much an excellent event overall. I've talked to a person or two who was out there at that event live. Now, if you watched the event, the crowd there was insane. And even one person in particular got back to me and had said, the crowd there, I mean, watching it on TV, or on the WWE Network rather, didn't do it justice as to how loud they were in person. And I can't say that I doubt that at all. Because I remember watching WrestleMania, or being there live for WrestleMania 20, and how loud it was. And I remember thinking, alright, well, I can't wait to watch it on DVD when DVDs were the big thing, and see how it came out on film. And to say that I was disappointed would be a severe understatement, because they like lowered the crowd noise for whatever reason, and next thing you know, it's just so much lower. Like, I remember when Undertaker returned and Paul Bearer did the "oh yes" on the microphone for the live crowd. Like, I remember thinking, holy crap, I'm gonna go deaf. Yeah. maybe the wrong place for that. But yeah, I remember in the live crowd at MSG, it was like, oh my god, this is so freaking loud. But when I watched it on DVD, I'm like, oh, that's disappointing. I mean, I'll still watch it on the network from time to time just because it brings back a lot of memories, and it was indeed a good show. So I just remember thinking, I still get so pissed because it's like, geez, I wish I could go back to that night just to relive how loud that thing was. So I'm getting off on a little bit of a rant here, but long story short, that's pretty much what wound up happening with UK TakeOver Blackpool. And either way, it was still pretty cool on the network if you had watched it, by the way. So, results. Mustache Mountain versus Zach Gibson and James Drake for the NXT UK tag titles. Gibson and Drake win. The match itself was really awesome. Great way to kick off the show, to set the pace of the entire event. And this is the thing where I like with takeovers, right? With takeovers, they do, I mean, it's obviously it's Triple H's baby, so he runs it. But they have a knack, NXT as a whole, whether it be the UK or the one in the United States, they have a knack for knowing what goes well on the card. Is it Mustache Mountain if they indeed have beards? I guess not. I guess not. And yes, Blake, I don't know if you heard, but I did plug your episode with the interviews of the Brew City Wrestling talent over on the network. Again, if you want to hop on over, Spreaker.com/filling_the_void. You can find the Blake and Sal Show on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever the case may be. You can find them on there. The match was excellent. The chants started early. The crowd was hot early. How many people were saying, I was happy to take the shoes off for the Zach Gibson chant? Unreal. And just the atmosphere there makes it so much better, and that's a UK crowd. So, it made things even more entertaining watching the show. And it's not just obviously not just the WWE events, but I mean, you watch any British wrestling or UK wrestling brands, whether it be Progress or whether it be Defiant or whether it be whatever it may be, right? The fans are more than likely always the same. The one most downloaded weekly show on the Fill in the Void Podcast Network. Yes, it is. You're not bullshitting, it's facts.